My name is Brianna Ewan, and I'll be doing my Innovator Presentation on the Corporate Social Responsibility Burt's Bees. Burt's Bees was started by Bert Shavitz and Roxanne Quimby. They started selling candles from unused beeswax from Burt's Bees Farm. Their mission statement is, Burt's Bees is an earth-friendly, natural personal care company. We create natural, earth-friendly, personal care products formulated to help you maximize your well-being and that of the world around you. They're a for-profit CEO-run company, and they actually have a parent company, which is the Clorox company. They got accused of selling out when they were acquired by Clorox, because when people thought about Clorox, they thought about dangerous chemicals and things like that. But actually, their partnership has been beneficial for both sides. The Clorox company has become more sustainable and has a reduction of waste, and Burt's Bees was able to acquire new ideas and a higher budget from the Clorox company. Here are some of the social issues that Burt's Bees is trying to come up with innovative solutions for. They basically revolve around either helping to maintain bee populations or increase bee populations around the world, and to help humans be more healthy by using more natural ingredients. They also want to make the world more planet friendly. They're very environmental conscious. So in 2007, the Burt's Bees Greater Good Foundation was started. It's a nonprofit organization dedicated to sustaining charitable grassroots initiatives that support human and honeybee health. So through that foundation, Burt's Bees has given $2.4 million in grants for programs spanning research, education, and conservation. And they started the Natural Launchpad Grant Program, which funds and mentors startup companies that focus on improving the planet and everyone's quality of life. They've also given over $330,000 in proceeds to nonprofit organizations. They have a partnership with artist Matthew Willey to paint 50,000 honeybees on murals worldwide to raise awareness of the plight of the honeybee, kind of educate people about honeybees and how important they are. Another thing that they do to educate people is they have an observation hive in their headquarters that people can come see and learn about the role the bee plays. They have a partnership with Rural Advancement Foundation to launch the Bring Back the Bees program, which is they plant wild flowers alongside farmland to provide pollinators with nourishing forage. And they've already planted over 1 billion seeds through that program. Their goal is to make the world greener and cleaner by sourcing natural ingredients to create products that people love, sending zero waste to landfills, having energy-efficient lighting software and production equipment, and using minimal amounts of water. They use recyclable packaging materials, including low-impact polypropylene, which is number 5 plastic. They eliminate shrink wrap. They're 100% plastic-free kit packaging. They use recyclable paper foam rather than plastic trays. They use clear virgin plastic and FSC certified paperboard cartons, and 100% recycled plastic in their lip gloss caps. In 2012, they started the Community Source Initiative. They formed partnerships to forge sustainable quality ingredients. I actually watched a video about it, a beekeeper in Tanzania that they sourced some ingredients from, and it was really interesting to see how they worked with the beekeepers to overcome difficulties and problems and maximize production. They partnered with Habitat for Humanity to begin building a second home in North Carolina's first green affordable housing community. Their employees are encouraged to take time off each year to do something good for the world. And each year they have a culture day to promote community outreach. In 2008, they closed the company for a day to build a playground for a community with a nonprofit called Kaboom. Another part of their mission is to treat employees with respect, hold suppliers to high social responsibility standards, and remain committed to never testing on animals. So there's a lot of different social issues that they deal with and different ideas that they have, different programs that they have going on to deal with these social issues. The impact that they made. So I found a public CSR report, which is basically a compilation of their goals that they had and whether they accomplished them or not in the past years. So their last one was 2012, and then they did one again in 2016. So these stats are from the 2016 report, comparing to the year 2011 when they did the 2012 report. So they had different topics, including product formulations and things like that. So I'll just go through each one of them. Product formulations, they continued to maintain a 99% average of natural ingredients. Global supplier, so they met that goal. Global supplier community investment, they identified NGO partners to help and plan to have 2 communities. Philanthropic giving, they had decreased revenue in their online stores, and that led to goal adjustments. So they didn't make their goal. They gave $250,000 to more than 50 nonprofit organizations. They donated $270,000 to plant more than 1 billion wildflowers alongside farmland for bees. Their community outreach, they supported 20 farms and over 6,000 acres of land by supplying wildflower seeds and technical assistance. Responsible sourcing, they developed evaluation method using location, quality, availability, and social environmental impact and adjusted their goals accordingly. Carbon neutrality, they've actually achieved that, and they've achieved it 4 years ahead of their 2020 deadline. Their energy use was 9.5% above the 2011 baseline, rather than their goal of 10% below that baseline. Their waste, they had no waste sent to landfills, and they're working on reducing the amount of waste that goes to WTE processing. They used 30% more water than in 2011, and identified the factors responsible and adjusted appropriately. They have a goal to integrate contract manufacturing. Their packaging, they average 34% recycled content of packaging, and that's a 28% increase over the baseline in 2011, and it's more than double the industry benchmark. So these are some of the things that all come together to show what impact Burt's Bees is having on these social issues that they care about. Some struggles that they're having with their in their goal to help with these social issues. And the first one is finding a 100% natural preservative. So if you look over at the picture on the right, the calming lavender and honey body wash, at the bottom it says 98.7% natural. Some products are less than 100% natural because they haven't been able to source an all-natural preservative that works to the standard that consumers need. So that's something big that they're dealing with. Using less water, of course. You notice in the CSR report that they were 9.5 or 30% above their 2011 benchmark. Also, for in the 2012 CSR report, water was capped. Or the target was capped at 900,000 gallons of water, and the actual usage reached about 1.5 million gallons. So that's been something they've been struggling with for a while. Using less energy, in the CSR report it also said they were 9.5% above their 2011 benchmark when they wanted to be 10% below the benchmark. So that's something that they're dealing with as well. Some successes and accomplishments. They have a carbon neutral certification from the Natural Capital Partners. They purchased water restoration certificates from Bonneville Environmental Foundation, which basically means that they will give back water equivalent to their own consumption to watersheds like the Colorado River and the Middle Deschutes watershed. They're members of the Sustainable Packaging Coalition of the Sustainable Packaging Cosmetics Roundtable, which means that they're dedicated to finding new ways to incorporate PCR into packaging in order to reduce waste and encourage at-home recycling. They're members of several global responsible sourcing organizations, including SEDEX, AI in Progress, Global Shea Alliance, and the Natural Resources Stewardship Circle. So quite a few successes and accomplishments with what they're doing. Some recommendations that I have for improvement and scaling in the company. I narrowed everything down to 2 big improvements that they could make. The first one is to adjust their mission statement to be more concise. Their mission statement was very wordy and sort of unclear what they were going for. I'm still not quite sure what their ultimate goal is because they have so many things going on that there's just no way I could possibly summarize it into a small 8-word mission statement. But if I was to try, I would say to maximize the well-being of humans and the environment. So maybe just making something more concise so that the people that they work with can know exactly what the goal of that company is, ultimately. Also, my second recommendation is to include more information on methods used to measure the impact of a project in CSR reports. For example, they say that they donated $270,000 to plant wildflowers alongside farmland for bees. What they don't say is what impact has that made? What are the effects on the bee population? Has it led to an increase of bee population? Has it led to an increase of honey production? Has it led to more nutritious honey? I don't know, like something that would tell us exactly what these projects are, like what the result is of these projects that they're doing, because they're doing a lot of good and they have the numbers to support, like, hey, we're improving, we're better than some people around us, but what are these things doing in the long run? And that will help them to also be able to look and see, like, hey, maybe this is working, maybe this is not working as well. And here are my sources. Thank you.